The block is freezing over, and the tables are turning fast on the south side. As Lena Waithe's hit drama rolls deep into its 8th and final season, the emotional and physical survival stakes have never been tighter. With the upcoming release of Season 8, Episode 3, titled Beneath the Icy Veil, dropping Sunday, June 7th, 2026 on Paramount Plus with Showtime, the collective friction between street loyalty and personal reinvention is ready to explode. From Emmett's defensive domestic maneuvering to the dangerous military buildup between Nuck and a reckless Reg, the timeline is hitting a major bottleneck. Let's map out a ground-level narrative breakdown and parse through the premier theories for Episode 3. 1. Emmett's Crucible, protecting the Washington household. Emmett Washington, Jacob Lattimore, has spent 8 seasons fighting to outrun his past mistakes, mutating from a reckless teenage parent into a mature provider. Now, the weight of his household has expanded exponentially. Taking on Devontae into his home alongside Keisha, Burgundy Baker, proves he is ready to stand tall as a protector, even if watching EJ integrate into an alternate family dynamic leaves his psyche severely fractured. The upcoming episode synopsis hard-codes a critical trajectory. Emmett reassesses his family's future. Between managing his food business assets and navigating continuous neighborhood trauma, the pressure is forcing him to realize that a passive approach won't cut it anymore. This internal crisis is heavily tracking toward Emmett executing a definitive, high-stakes move, potentially speeding up his long-awaited formal marriage timeline with Keisha to solidify their unit before the Southside chaos fractures their sanctuary. Concurrently, his father, Darnell, is hitting a personal bottleneck. Paralyzed by grief following Jada's passing, Darnell has practically turned Emmett's home into an emotional bunker to hide from reality. But with his heart slowly opening to a fresh connection, Episode 3 is poised to execute a cold reality check. Darnell needs to stop acting like a temporary guest and return to his own perimeter, allowing Emmett the breathing room he desperately needs to manage his own generational chaos. 2. Bakari's Crossroads, the book release versus Nuck's Syndicate. Bakari Ahmad Nicholas Ferguson stands at the most defining crossroads of his entire operational life. The new opportunity teased in the network loglines points straight to his legitimate writing career. If his book asset starts gaining serious traction, it offers a clean, legal pipeline out of the game, the exact freedom Lene has been fiercely begging him to pursue. However, leaving the streets behind isn't as simple as turning a page. In the previous episode, Nuck delivered a quiet but incredibly menacing reminder that institutional loyalty on the South Side is non-negotiable. Nuck already suspects that Bakari's close alignment with Lene represents a high-alert structural leak. If Bakari attempts to unilaterally liquidate his relationship with the Syndicate, he risks triggering a violent retaliatory strike, transforming his symbol of hope into a dangerous target. 3. Prepping for War, Nuck's Ambush versus Reg's Recklessness. The Cheese Season 8 Strategic Alignment Ledger. Character asset, actor, primary operational grid, projected Episode 3 trajectory or conflict. Emmett Washington, Jacob Lattimore, small business/domestic line, reassessing parental liabilities, pushing for absolute stability. Bakari, Ahmad Nicholas Ferguson, literary track/streets, caught in an intense loyalty bottleneck between Nuck and a book deal. Nuck, Cortez Smith, underground Southside Syndicate, quietly building an army with Smitty and Big Mike for total domination. Reg Taylor, Barton Fitzpatrick, street turf defense, acting untouchable, driving Jake back into dangerous neighborhood drama. While the rest of the neighborhood is completely distracted by personal trauma, Nuck is operating like a master chess player. By locking down allegiances with heavy hitters like Smitty and Big Mike, he has systematically built a high-fidelity street army behind the scenes.
The tragic contrast here belongs to Reg Taylor. Ever since his disruptive return to the South Side, he has been operating under the absolute delusion that he is completely untouchable. Instead of building strategic defenses, he is moving recklessly, disrupting Jake's legal clothing line, Chi Seeds, and dragging the boys straight back into the line of fire. The second the Nuck versus Reg war officially breaks out, Reg is tracking to hit an absolute brick wall. Nuck is fully fortified and prepared for total territorial extermination, while Reg's flashy arrogance leaves his crew completely exposed to a tactical ambush. 4. Unearthing the cover-up. Patient's legal blueprint. Concurrently, the legal tracking surrounding Victor and Shad is escalating into a high-octane procedural thriller. Trapped inside the state system over an unfair prison setup, their freedom is hard-coded entirely to the investigation being run by Patience. Patience is aggressively mining for on-field forensic proof to crack the case. The turning point hinges directly on Nora's high-alert disclosure. She formally admitted that Roseland paid her a massive sum of hush money to preserve her silence. While this confession gives Patience the exact legal ammunition needed to expose the systemic corruption, it turns Nora into a highly vulnerable target. She is holding data that elite regional power players would desperately prefer to keep buried in a concrete grave, meaning her fight for truth could easily invite a lethal cleanup operation before the final court filings are locked in. The winter is getting colder, the private plays are set, and Beneath the Icy Veil drops this Sunday.